Hello and welcome to this video on the topic of, what if the Earth stopped rotating? Today we'll be exploring the implications of our planet suddenly ceasing its rotation, and what it would mean for the inhabitants of this planet. First of all, it's important to understand that the Earth's rotation plays a crucial role in many of the planet's natural phenomena. For example, the rotation of the Earth is responsible for the day-night cycle, as well as the rotation of the Earth around its axis determines the change of seasons. If the Earth were to suddenly stop rotating, the most immediate and obvious effect would be a massive shift in the distribution of the planet's mass. This could cause huge earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and tsunamis, as the entire planet would be thrown out of equilibrium. The intensity of these natural disasters would depend on the location and can range from catastrophic to the entire extinction of human life. Another major consequence would be the change in weather patterns. The rotation of the Earth creates a centrifugal force that helps to distribute heat and moisture around the planet. If the Earth stopped rotating, the heat and moisture would become concentrated in the areas closest to the equator, while the poles would become much colder and drier. This would create a vastly different climate on Earth and would make it much harder for life to survive in many parts of the planet. The final effect that would be of most concern to the living things on Earth would be the effect on the Coriolis effect, which is the phenomenon that causes the rotation of the Earth to create wind patterns, ocean currents and weather patterns. Without this effect, the weather patterns would be dramatically different and would also affect the life on Earth by altering the ocean currents, which would disrupt the food chain and the ecosystem of the oceans. So as you can see, the rotation of the Earth is essential to the survival of life on our planet. While it's unlikely that the Earth will suddenly stop rotating, it's important to remember that even small changes to our planet's rotation can have a huge impact on the climate and the life that it supports. Another important aspect to consider is that if the Earth were to suddenly stop rotating, the force exerted on the side facing the Sun would be incredibly strong, as the centrifugal force is what keeps the air and the water in place. This would result in a massive tidal wave that would sweep across the entire planet, wiping out coastal cities and low-lying areas. It would be similar to a mega tsunami that would reach the height of several kilometers, and the speed will reach a few hundred kilometers per hour. Furthermore, the atmosphere would also be affected by the sudden stop of rotation. As the air and the water would be pulled towards the equator, a massive windstorm would develop, with winds reaching speeds of up to 800 kilometers per hour. This would create a highly dangerous situation, with flying debris and dangerous winds, making it impossible for people to survive outside. In addition, the gravitational pull of the Sun and the Moon on the Earth's surface would also be altered, which would have an impact on the tides and the ocean currents. The gravitational pull of the Sun and the Moon is what creates the tide patterns we see today, and without the rotation of the Earth, these patterns would be disrupted, resulting in much more severe tides. This would be particularly devastating for coastal communities, as it would make it much more difficult for people to predict and prepare for tidal events. Finally, it's also worth noting that the sudden stop of rotation would also affect the planet's magnetic field. The Earth's magnetic field is created by the rotation of the molten core of the Earth, and without this rotation, the magnetic field would weaken, making the planet much more vulnerable to solar flares and other forms of space weather. It is important to remember that the scenario of Earth stopping rotation suddenly is purely hypothetical, and highly unlikely to happen. The rotation of the Earth is slow and consistent, and while there may be small variations in the rotation rate, it is not expected to change dramatically in the near future. However, this topic is a good reminder of the importance of studying and understanding the processes that shape our planet and its environment, and how they affect the survival of life on Earth. It also highlights the need to be prepared for potential natural disasters and to take proactive measures to protect ourselves and our communities. In addition, we also need to be aware of the impact that human activities have on the Earth, such as global warming and the destruction of natural habitats. These activities can change the Earth's climate and affect the balance of the ecosystem, which can lead to a decline in biodiversity and a reduction in the ability of the Earth to support life. In summary, the Earth's rotation is an essential part of the planet's natural systems, and its sudden stop would have catastrophic consequences for all forms of life on Earth. However, we can work to preserve the planet's natural systems and protect ourselves from potential natural disasters, by studying the Earth's processes and taking steps to mitigate the impact of human activities on the planet. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video informative and interesting.